A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control.
Nobody, a 2021 film directed by Elia Nashuler, is the type of movie that embodies the previous statement in the best way possible. Men should not be afraid of their violent nature. We should embrace it and keep it in check. Because when the time comes to defend our families, will we be the harmless man or the dangerous one? Will we be the sheep or the sheepdog defending against the wolf? Nobody, as a film, ever gets this deep, but it does make one question one's capacity for violence. What would you do if somebody broke into your house? What would you do if your family was in jeopardy? These are the questions it asks, and does it in such a fun way that it is hard to find any problem with this film. Bob Odenkirk brilliantly stars as Hutch Mansell, a sad sack of a man whose job doesn't value him, whose wife doesn't desire him, and whose children don't respect him. Basically the life of most middle-aged suburban men. Then somebody breaks into his house and Hutch does nothing. This makes everything worse in his life, and it also awakens something in Hutch that puts this movie into an adrenaline-fueled state of awesomeness. The dormant monster within has been awakened. Hutch tracks down the burglars of his home, hell-bent on doing them harm, only to find people who are not bad, but desperate. The film uses this time to indicate that Hutch is more than what he seems. He has a very dark past, so he leaves the home of the desperate burglars only more enraged. Although on the bus ride home, he gets the opportunity to unleash his inner demon, and he wreaks havoc on a bunch of Russian hooligans that more or less had it coming. The only problem is one of those hooligans happens to be related to some very bad people. Then Hutch's sleepy suburban life is completely uprooted and he welcomes the fight. The action sequences in this movie are top-notch, superb, on par with the great John Wick. And it seems that Odenkirk actually does most of his own stunts. Not bad for an actor who is pushing 60. This movie makes no apologies for what it is. A wishful action movie geared toward the same sad sack middle-aged suburban man that feels incompetent and underappreciated. It is thin on plot and nuance, but man is it a lot of fun to watch. As to the deeper meanings of violence and masculinity, well, don't look too close, because you might not like what you see. You may find that monster lying just under the surface of your own mind. The question is it a monster that defends or destroys? Is it the monster that has a few drinks, slaps around his children, and terrorizes his wife? Or is it the monster that reads to his children, then tucks them in at night and speaks tenderly to his wife? But when evil comes to threaten that tranquility, the monster is unleashed in the most brutal way possible. This is all probably reading too much into this film. Overall, it's just a damn fine action movie that speaks to the same sad sack in all of us.
Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.